Hello, my name is Dave Dixon. I live in Northern California, and thank you for finding me. Today I wanted to talk about oil changes. I just got my oil changed on my car, and I didn't know, normally I set it up for every 5,000 miles, but I didn't know when I got my oil change done last time. And I get it done at Jiffy Lube. I mean, for the last years, I've been getting it done there. I would say 20 years or something. It's always amazing to me when I go there. The crew has completely changed. There's nobody there that I recognize. They're all gone. And I think it's because of the way they pay people. You know, they're not too good. It's it's not a job that you're going to stay at forever, I guess. And so I had my windshield replaced recently, and when they took the windshield out, they took my sticker with it. So there's a sticker that goes up in the corner, and that's how I kind of know when to change the oil. I've been like a hot rodder and really involved with engines and stuff, and probably the single most important thing you can do is to make sure you change your oil. You know, on the new cars, it's more like every 5,000 miles. On the old, they used to be every 3,000 miles. And then the state of California actually went after a lot of the oil change places, and I think they even created a law because they were trying to have us change it every 3,000 miles, and somehow they found out that, you know, that's wasting a lot of oil. That's how California figured it. So I think there was a lawsuit and all that, and now they have to say 5,000 miles or ask us what we want to do. So since my sticker was gone, and that's the main reason I go there, is because they give me a sticker. I mean, seriously, that's the main reason I go, because I cannot remember. But since I didn't have a sticker, I could ask them just to look at my license plate and see when I was there before, and it was like 7,300 miles. So it's not the end of the world or anything, but I'm getting ready to run a lead, and that lead is about an hour and 15 minutes away. And I was just thinking to myself, when was the last time I had my oil done? So if you change your oil, you know, every 5,000 miles, and also transmission fluid is a biggie too. I usually do mine once a year, but these transmissions, you know, running around on very, very thin oil, the viscosity on transmission fluid is very lot lower than oil that goes inside your engine. So it's important to replace it, and that's one thing that people just don't do. Then they end up with a $3,500 to $4,500 problem to have to rebuild the tranny. So it's important to do that and change the filter on the tranny at the same time. A lot of times they just want to flush it, so they're taking oil out of your transmission, but they can't take the oil out of the torque converter if it's an automatic transmission. In the torque converter, it holds some oil inside there, some transmission fluid. So if you don't change that, then you're kind of putting a bunch of new oil with, like, those to say 5 quarts of new oil with 1 quart of bad oil. You know, so I like to have the pan dropped, change the filter, drain everything out of it. You know, even the torque converter, and then put it all back together. But it's getting harder and harder to find places that can do that. And so I remember getting oil changes for like 20 bucks each time. And now they just told me mine was going to be like $75. It's just amazing how much it costs. But it costs what it costs, and you do need to do it, especially since I'm going to be going on a long trip, and I haven't had it done in a while. So I always ask them, I can never remember, is my senior discount better than my military discount? And the military discount was better. It was 15% of the bill, so it dropped it down to like, I think 68 or something like that. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking, oh my God, when was the last time I changed the oil on my car? Well, you might want to go out there and get it changed, because I have seen people, and I used to tell my kids this, they blew up that car engine for a quart of oil, you know, because after a while your car will start to burn oil. It's not unusual. That happens because there's a lot of worn parts, not worn out, but worn parts. And I remember a kid, I just saw him yesterday, and I hadn't seen him in years. He went to high school with my son, and I remember he had a pretty cool car. I think it was a Dodge Charger, and it was you know, fairly new. Maybe it had like 80,000 miles on it, and that engine, I remember, got blown up because of a quart of oil. He was just too low on his oil. He just never, you know, kids, they don't check it, and that's an easy way to ruin your engine. And then if you don't service your transmission, there's a mileage amount, I think 75,000 miles, but you need to take it in and service it, and then that way you can make sure that you don't have problems with your transmission. It will last a lot longer. So I'm probably coming up on that. I probably do need to get my transmission redone, cleansed. So I get it done at a local place here in Lodi, and they have all my records there, so I can just drive by and ask them when it was done last time and what they recommend. So I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, I think I'll just make a little video on it, because if you're sitting there right now and it's wintertime, it's a lot easier on the wintertime if your oil is low, because there's not a lot of temperature. But if we don't do it before the summer hits, then all of a sudden you have you can have a situation where you know, the engine will overheat, it'll burn up, it doesn't have enough oil in it, so things can get seized. And once an engine is seized, it's basically no good. You know, it's going to be a nightmare. Sometimes it's a replacement of the oil. And also antifreeze too. So when I take it in there, they do check the antifreeze for me. They charge me if they want me to top it off. It might be like $5. And normally I'll just have them do that, because my car is kind of like my truck. A lot of times I have a truck, and it's nice to have a truck, but a lot of times people want to borrow my truck. Like, you know, can I borrow your truck? I'm going to move all my stuff. And I'm like, I go, it looks like it's a truck, you know, but it's not really a truck. It's a tool. And I just don't lend my tools out, because when they bring it back to me, you know, the minimum thing is they don't fill it up with gas. That's frustrating, you know. But then it can come back to me, and all of a sudden it's got this funny sound, this funny pinging or something going on. And maybe they drove it very aggressively, or they overloaded it, or I don't know what it is. Maybe it was going to go out anyway, but I would rather it go out on me. And then that's just how I feel about lending cars out, you know. And so I just want to tell you guys about to make sure you change your oil and look at your transmission. You know, that's important to look at both of those things, and make sure that your car is well lubricated, and it will keep running for years and years and years. So you can get a lot of miles out of a car. In fact, mine is at 195,000 right now. It still runs really, really good. But the main thing is changing that oil, that lubrication on it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for finding me. I hope you come back. I appreciate it, and thank you for your time.